Private jets, rich people, skinny skis. Need I say more? And the sad thing is, even without the title of this video, half of y'all could have figured out where I was talking about just based on that intro, which says a lot about this area. So with that, let's get into a hater's guide to Aspen. A place where the beer flows like wine, where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. I'm talking about a little place called Aspen. And that's really all you're getting, folks. See, you go to Aspen for these two things. If you're going there for the skiing experience, then even with the Dumb and Dumber reference, you're proving to be the dumbest of the bunch. Now, Picken County made some pretty abhorrent decisions during the pandemic, but I really don't even want to go there. So if you know, you know. What I will say, however, is that reaction has perpetuated my understanding that there are only two kinds of people in Aspen. Those with money and those who serve them cocktails. Middle class? Not here. In Aspen, it's either designer ski suits or last season's lifty jacket. So to all you middle classers, brace yourselves. You'll feel more out of place here than a coupon book at the Gucci store. Here's a question for you. Name a town with a collective ego larger than their airport. Only one I can think of is Aspen. Now name a town with 4 mountains, which collectively still can't beat out most standalone other resorts in the rest of the state. Yep, still Aspen. Alright, enough about the town. Let's discuss the mountains. Aspen Highlands. Now, Highlands is unique because of the 3 mountains in the town of Aspen, it's the only one with a parking garage. The downside of this, however, is that the tiny little parking garage is so small and tight you can barely fit a Subaru through there, much less a full-size SUV. You'd have better odds parking your car outside in Oakland and escaping unscathed than parking in that tight-ass garage at Highlands. I swear there's more scrapes in the Highlands garage than there are on Tony Hawk's knees. Normally when we talk about middle children on this channel, it's in a group of 3, but I suppose it works for 4 as well. Snowmass is the youngest, getting all the pampering and upgrades. Ajax is the eldest, with all the responsibility and maturity. Buttermilk is like the brother that's an entire generation younger than you, and you're still not sure why your parents had him in the first place. But Highlands? When was the last time Highlands made a headline? It's a great expert in racing mountain, but apparently not multi-talented enough to host the X Games. It's got a cool bowl and some nice mogul runs, but I'd still take Pandora's and the dumps at Ajax any day. It used to have beginner terrain, but apparently they sucked even in that aspect, so it all got removed. So Highlands, congratulations on never quite being good enough to be the best of the 4 mountains in any one aspect. Congrats on never being quite good enough in literally anything. Buttermilk. How are you the smallest of the 4, but yet have the most to hate? I mean, this is what happens when some big corporation thinks that mixing the die-hard park skiers and the first-timers will end in a fun experience for everyone. Aspen Skiing Company is owned by the Crown family, and while I may not know too much about them, I'm willing to guess that they're neither die-hard park skiers nor first-timers. But just think about that. The entire mountain experience, everything you complain about, at the end of the day, just a couple people have full control over it. One family. So for as much as all the rich people like to act like they own the mountain, in Aspen, there actually are people who own the mountain. All of them. And they all suck. So you tell me what's the common denominator. Oh, and the guy who was really in charge of it all, Jim Crown? Yeah, he passed away in an unfortunate accident last year. Just what percentage of companies get better after being passed down a generation? If I recall correctly, not many. And that's not even to mention all the rumors about Aspen being sold. And the fact that all their higher-ups are leaving. Be prepared for not just Buttermilk, but all of the mountains to go downhill, because at this point, it feels inevitable. Now, back to focusing on the mountain itself, how do you know that Buttermilk is truly forgettable? Because we have no footage for it. All of our external sources who we've borrowed footage from have no footage for it. It wasn't worth any of us wasting our time at it. Snowmass, the only ski resort whose name you can't say without ass. I mean, I get being good at blues, but you seem to have gone a little bit above and beyond. So much so that you have next to nothing when it comes to greens and blacks. And while there is certainly some trying terrain, it's nothing compared to Highlands or even Ajax, which is a pretty low bar. Also, in this whole county of rich people, why are you still operating a lift that was designed in the 1930s? Not kidding. And I thought the T-bar at Breckenridge was bad with only a 30% success rate loading on the first try. We should take a bit to just record a video of people struggling to load the platter at Snowmass. It'd probably go viral. And unlike a T-bar, the platter stops. You load it stationary, but people still struggle to get on it. How is that even possible? But no worries, the platter will be replaced soon. With what, you ask? Oh, just a lowly tea bar. Oh wait. It feels like tradition to roast names in Hater's Guide, so let's go ahead and give Snowmass its turn. Sheer Bliss? I doubt it. Campground? Where? High Alpine. Oh really? What makes you say that? 2 creeks. How many creeks did you say? And of course, Big Burn. Now, for those who know the story behind Big Burn, you understand where I'm coming from. For those who don't, Big Burn is named after a wildfire in ancient history which came through and cleared the trees, giving Big Burn its distinct aesthetic. So yeah, real creative with that one. Snowmass is part of the Aspen conglomerate, but yet it feels more like a Vail resort, and by that I'm referring to the crowds. Snowmass is way far away from Denver, not really a day trippable distance, so explain to me why trying to get on the Village Express or Elk Camp gondola on a Saturday just feels like those infamous lift line videos we've all seen from Vail. Yeah, they added Coney, but with its start location and sending empty chairs to the mid-station, it's just about as effective as putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. Anybody know where I've used that line before? And of course, let's not let Keystone out of this easy either. Remember Schoolmarm? Now imagine that, but with slush. That's Fanny Hill, which, let's be honest, is one of those things that sounds inappropriate to say for literally no reason at all. As a social experiment, maybe Vail should rename Chopsticks with an X to Fanny and see if they still get complaints. To finish off, let's go back to where it all started. Ajax. I mean, let me just start off with this. Everybody still calls you Ajax. They're afraid to let go, because they know times are changing and they don't like it. Even as tucked away as you are, it's still getting busier. More ski bums are coming, and the rich don't like that. And soon enough, we're going to have a massive ski civil war, and it's going to be hilarious to watch for us from the outside. You know, a lot of people are celebrating the removal of the Gentleman's Ridge lift. But beyond taking that at service level, I think it's representative of Aspen's process as a whole. The Gents lift was so horrendous it was nicknamed the Couch. I wish I wrote that joke myself, but unfortunately that was its actual name. I'm not quite that gifted. But ever since the very inception of the lift, people knew it was going to resemble a medieval torture device more than a functioning piece of transport infrastructure. And it took them decades to do anything about it. Decades. I'm pretty sure it would take less paperwork to get a world peace treaty than it does to do literally anything at Ajax. I starkly remember coming across a snow bunny with an entire photography team blogging a run at Ajax and thinking to myself, what has my life come to? I'm on the goddamn Champs-Élysées with a bunch of non-skiers paying Louis Vuitton prices to ski an entirely mediocre mountain that I have to share with a bunch of entitled assholes. I'd rather be hiking in the Sonoran Desert right now, and I hate hot days. It's just no fun because you're constantly looking over your shoulder so you don't get sued for some absolute BS. Aspen Mountain honestly just feels out of place. No matter how hard it tries, Aspen, to me, just never will be a ski town. In my mind, it will always and forever just be one giant luxury strip mall, and that's reflected in the people. So if you take nothing else away from this, take away that you don't go to Aspen for the skiing, you go to Aspen for the quote-unquote experience. Alright, that seems to be an ample summary. As always, please leave any questions down below, and of course, don't forget to let us know of any atrocities we forgot to mention. Thank you all so much for watching. All my love, I'm out.